Following storms that turned into wall clouds, this is a live look from Valley News Live storm chaser Eric Whitehill. He's in west central Minnesota. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Our storm team has been keeping an eye on the sky and the radar this evening. Tornadoes have already been spotted in some areas of southern Minnesota. So let's get right over to meteorologist Hutch Johnson in First Weather. Hutch?
Thank you so much. We do have a radar that shows a lot of rain in eastern North Dakota. That's not the area where we have concern tonight. Good old-fashioned showers there. It's our southernmost counties near a center of low pressure where the threat for some funnels and tornadoes will be the primary risk as we go through the evening. I don't expect large hail. I don't expect gusty straight line winds, but the spin in the atmosphere is great, and it's already produced a trail of tornadoes through northeast South Dakota and now into west central Minnesota. Here is the latest tornado warning. It is in effect for that Big Stone County area and also a report of a tornado on the ground right now. Here is the location of Eric Whitehill. He is on this storm, and let's take his feed one more time. Now, Eric has just reported that the rotation is still quite intense with this storm, but the tornado that was reported earlier has lifted. So we're continuing to monitor this situation as we speak. But if you are in southern Traverse County, a storm with very tight rotation and a history of producing tornadoes is heading your way. Seek shelter in that interior room and make sure that you're staying away from lightning. Staying away from windows. Here's the tracker for this tornado producing storm moving north-northeast towards Dumont. Will be near Collins by 6:14. So luckily, at least at this time, it is in rural portions of the county. As Eric Whitehill continues to track the storm, so will we. Here is a look at the velocities within the storm. Where you see the greens next to the reds is where the risk for rotation is the greatest. Green meaning wind blowing towards the Aberdeen radar. Red meaning wind blowing away from the radar. And again, Eric Whitehill is monitoring this storm. We'll keep you updated throughout the show as we track the storms and let you know about the forecast of where they're going, and the risk comes up with meteorologist Robert Hahn here in just a few moments.
All right, thanks so much, Hutch. And as a reminder, you can stay up to date on the weather conditions where you are anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just download the Storm Team Weather app to get the latest weather conditions and even follow that radar live. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store. And we are getting a dramatic and emotional picture of what happened inside an Orlando nightclub during the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history. Now, for the first time, some of the victims held hostage are speaking out. Jay Gray has their story and the latest on the investigation.
Oh my God, people are getting shot.
Today, for the first time since the attack, we're getting a closer look inside the chaos from a hostage.
Bullets start going through the stall wall towards us. I was on the ground in a pool of blood. I wasn't sure whose it was.
Angel Santiago and Patience Carter were shot, then held at gunpoint by the alleged shooter, Omar Mateen.
We got trapped in there. The gunman entered the bathroom and was shooting his machine gun. So we're all like scrambling around in the bathroom, screaming at the top of our lungs.
But Carter says Mateen was calm and deliberate during the attack.
He pledged his allegiance to ISIS, and he started speaking, and I believe after he got off the phone with 911, he started speaking in Arabic. He even spoke to us directly in the bathroom,
telling survivors to stay off their phones as the massacre continued.
I never thought in a million years that my eyes could witness something so tragic.
A horrific plan that investigators say Mateen's current wife, Noor Zahai Salman, tried to stop him from carrying out. NBC News has also learned she was with him when he bought ammunition in a holster and drove him to the Pulse nightclub weeks before the killing spree. Police and federal agents are still investigating her role, and the FBI is taking a serious and much closer look now at reports from those in Orlando's gay community that Mateen had been seen in gay nightclubs, including Pulse, for years, and that he often communicated with gay men online.
I recognized him from one of the apps, but I instantly blocked him because he was very creepy in his messages, and I blocked him immediately.
The latest piece of a tragic puzzle here as the investigation continues. Jay Gray, NBC News, Orlando.
President Obama continues to receive updates on the investigation and will travel to Orlando Thursday to meet with the families of the victims. And as we just mentioned, since the investigation of that mass shooting is still underway, it's not known yet what potential police tactics may be developed for local agencies responding to similar calls. Omar Mateen, the man behind that deadly shooting, reportedly pledged allegiance to ISIS during a 911 call. However, as Valley News Team's Neil Carlson shows us, that doesn't mean the local response to similar 911 calls will change, at least for now.
Every year in the United States, there are over 240 million 911 calls. Here at the Grand Forks Dispatch Center, they handle over 10,000 calls a month.
The coulee is nearby, so it's safe to assume they probably made their way there. I'll be 10-8.
10-4.
Policy is already in place that allows them to respond quickly to an active shooter.
That kind of event, we're going to send SWAT immediately. There's certain things that we know based upon prior protocols that we would handle, but we will take direction from whoever the incident commander is.
However, police say it does not make sense to start a new policy of automatically sending the SWAT team just because someone mentions ISIS in a 911 call, like the Orlando shooter did.
Quite frankly, that it would be a very dangerous precedent to follow. If somebody says a particular phrase, almost no matter what that phrase is, that all of a sudden SWAT team is going to be activated and whatnot. It's situationally dependent. We're going to respond to what people do.
Meanwhile, there's state-of-the-art technology in the valley to warn people of immediate danger.
Alt says dispatch centers here in Grand Forks and Fargo have the ability to send warning messages directly to cell phones in a specific area.
That's one of the tools that we can bring to the table to help warn the public if there's a barricaded subject or some kind of reason for them to stay sheltered in place.
Unfortunately, no answer to preventing another Orlando yet, but agencies here and across the country are preparing to deal with the possibility of another one. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
Those police warnings to cell phones in the Grand Forks and Fargo areas are available without users having to sign up for anything. Other areas around the valley require users to sign up for Code Red, so you'll need to check with your county's sheriff's department to see what is available in your area. A hostage situation at a Texas Walmart turns deadly. Amarillo police say the hostage taker is dead, but no one else was injured. Officials were clearing the store when a SWAT team encountered the suspect and shot him. This all started around 11 in the morning after police responded to the Walmart for an active shooter. Police say the suspect took 2 people hostage. They are calling this a workplace violence incident. An investigation is underway to locate a vehicle involved in a hit-and-run crash that killed a 10-year-old girl. And the Minnesota State Patrol is asking for your help. The crash happened Friday night on Highway 18 near Mille Lacs Lake. The State Patrol is looking for that vehicle that struck and killed Kaylin Donovan. Anyone with information is asked to call Lieutenant Adam Fulton. The number is on your screen. Officials say the driver might not know that they were involved in that crash. A freak accident claims the life of a school district employee. Police say a man died yesterday while mowing the grass at Hannah Stadium in Valley City. 51-year-old Todd Heck was apparently killed when he went uphill with a zero-turn type riding lawnmower. Police say the mower flipped and landed on his back. They're asking anyone with information on this case to contact Valley City Police. North Dakotans have just under 3 hours left to vote in today's primary election. 12,500 ballots have been cast in Cass County as of 4 p.m. today. Things have gone pretty smoothly, according to the Cass County election coordinator. This year, they had to change 2 of the 38 precinct locations. Mailers went out to those districts in West Fargo, but the postcards for one area had the wrong precinct information on them. Voters who normally vote at Triumph West Church had to travel down the road to Journey and Faith Church.
Yeah, the card said to come here. Apparently it was the church right in my backyard, so not a big deal.
The county tries not to change precinct locations, but in this case, all of the growth in West Fargo is causing a space crunch. The other issue the community had this morning, some of the barcode scanners were not working properly for about an hour. Despite these hiccups, North Dakotans could be seen casting their vote at various polling locations. Among them, North Dakota GOP candidate Doug Burgum, who we caught up with in Fargo. Wayne Stenjum, who is also running for North Dakota governor, was in Bismarck, where he cast his vote. North Dakotans have until 8 o'clock tonight to vote. Then be sure to watch for results on Valley News Live online and on air. From the White House to national TV, one West Fargo 12-year-old is cooking his way to fame. Carter Casola won the Healthy Lunchtime Challenge put on by Michelle Obama and is now going to be on Food Network's Chopped Junior. Thousands of kids tried out and only 45 were picked to be in the second season.
I think they'll be pretty surprised that a local kid was on Chopped Junior, but I was very calm, and I think that's pretty hard to do on such a high-stress show. It's a pretty big accomplishment. I'm really proud of myself, and I think it was really fun.
The episode airs tonight on Food Network at 7 p.m. The family says they will be watching from home. Carter, of course, will be making an appetizer. And if brownies or cookies are your Achilles heel, well, you might have a reason to beat the craving. You're being recalled. That's still ahead tonight.